Hey everyone, and welcome back to my next Create Mod video. Now today I'm going to give you 10 mods that are great additions to the Create Mod. If you enjoy this video, feel free to like and subscribe as I make a ton of Create Mod content. Now anyways, let's jump into the video. So the first mod that I want to talk about is the Create Stuff Additions mod. Now Create Stuff Additions adds a bunch of different things. One thing that it adds a bunch of different equipment made with different materials, including the old tools from Create 1.14.4. Now, this includes the blazing tools, which melt blocks when you break or light mobs on fire, gilded quartz tools, which are more efficient than diamond with weak attacks but great speed, shadow steel tools, which are the same harvest level as iron but higher mining speed than gold, the brass portable drill item, the brass jetpack for flying, and it adds the ability to go faster underwater as well. The exoskeleton, which gives you strength and haste, but lowers your food bar when you're wearing it. And the copper armor, which is low-end armor, and it repairs itself with honeycombs. It adds a bunch of different things, a lot of cool new items to Create Mod, and a lot of things that I have asked for previously for regular Create Mod. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is the Create Plus mod. Now, this adds helmets with goggle functionalities. So this is perfect for late game when you have like netherite helmets, diamond helmets, things along those lines, but you still want the goggle functionality. You can now combine those together and you have a single item that has that aspect. Now, much like the Create Plus mod, this Rose Gold mod adds a single thing into the game, and it adds Rose Gold to the game. Now, Rose Gold tools have a higher mining speed than gold, and also when you're wearing an armor set of it, piglins won't attack you when you're wearing it. It's kind of a nice, cool addition, just to add an extra armor set into Create. Next, we're going to talk about some integration style mods with Create. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is the Create Crafts and Additions mod, which adds a motor which generates kinetic energy from forge energy and adds an alternator which does the opposite at 75% efficiency. Now, in order to craft these items, you have to make a rolling mill, which is a kinetic machine that's used to make rods and wires, and there's a ton of other new items such as diamond grit sandpaper, accumulator, multimeter, and a bunch of other different types of items that help you connect Create with forge energy. There's also a mod called Create Integration, and this does a very similar thing where it converts Create's RPMs to forge energy, but it does it with a stressed out dynamo. Now, something to keep in mind is this is not for 1.16, this mod's for 1.15, but I did want to put it in here because it adds a lot of cool items. So one thing that adds is 3 extra pressure plates, which is copper, zinc, and brass. Now, brass only detects items, copper detects only non-monster creatures, and zinc detects all non-living entities. There's also a chunk loader that's included that's usable in moving contraptions of Create. And then last but not least, there's also an Ender Crate, which is a movable global storage device that can be accessed by contraptions. Now, I know that this isn't a direct dependent of Create, but I wanted to talk about just enough items because it's beyond useful for the Create mod. I literally used it in every single one of my videos. Now, this mod will allow you to see all recipes inside of the game and will even interact with the Create mod blocks, such as like crushing wheels and things like that. You can even use this mod to click and drag from it and place those items inside of a filter if you don't have those items in your inventory already. So this is a must-have if you do not have it already inside of your mods folder. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Cogwheel Tweaker. Now, this adds the ability to add custom cogwheels. Now, you're able to specify the properties of the custom cogwheels in the script as well, and it only adds this tiny little feature, but I'd really love to see this in a future Create update with a lot of different custom cogwheels, so we're not just using the same ones over and over. So I figured this kind of being added into this video would be a good idea. Now, the next mod is called Boat Contraptions. Now, before you get too excited, it's implemented in a weird way, and it's very quirky because this is still the beginning of this mod. In summary, when you shift right-click on an entity, it's going to look for a minecart or a boat in a 5x5 cube around it, and then if it finds one, it's going to make that entity ride in the passenger seat. Now, this is a very quirky mod, but I figured it was worth noting because in the future, this might be really helpful in the design of maybe a boat update for Create Mod or something like that. I'm still going to play around with the mod. We're going to see if I can come up with any cool creations, but I think this is a good foundation for maybe possible boats in the future. Now we're going to get into the custom crafting side of things. Now, a lot of these mods are going to be kind of duplicates with minor changes, but just kind of bear with me on this one. So the first one I want to talk about is Create Tweaker. Now, this is a mod that I actually used in the Rocket World server that I run. Now, this is an addition of Create and Craft Tweaker, and this is going to allow you to modify recipes when dealing with Create machines. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say you want to disable the ability to craft sticks in a crafting table. Once you disable it inside of a crafting table, you have to worry about what other machines Create has added, because you could actually still craft sticks inside of a mechanical crafter to get around that. So this will allow you to disable that, modify the recipe, do whatever you would like with it. Very useful, very easy to use, just with a little bit of simple coding. So I definitely recommend checking out this mod. Next, we have two Create add-ons, one of which is going to be called the Create Addon Mechanism Alloys, and the next one's going to be called Create Addon Thermal Expansion Alloys. Now, Mechanism Alloys will add you the ability to refine things such as steel, refined obsidian, and refined glowstone, which are alloys in Mechanism, because in base Create, you can refine ores, but you can't refine alloys. So this will actually change that. And then basically thermal expansions alloys, it does the exact same thing for thermal expansion, but this script will allow you to, of course, create all of these 7 alloys of thermal expansion, just kind of how brass is created inside of the Create mod. Now, before I end this video, I want to cover some smaller mods just as a fast shout out that I think are worth mentioning, but they didn't really need their own section. The first one is the More Create Stuffs, and this More Create Stuffs mod adds some items and recipes related to other mods in Create. So some mods that are supported are Abundance, Atomnity, Ice and Fire, Tinker's Construct, and many more. And then there's also the Tetra Pak, which is an add-on mod to add Create materials to Tetra. So this includes andesite alloy, brass, refined radiance, shadow steel, and rose quartz. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to drop a like and subscribe for more Create Mod content. I know that this video is a little bit different compared to what I normally do, and I might end up making another video for like mods that pair really well with the Create Mod. So not necessarily like dependencies, but mods that are like really line up with the feel of Create Mod. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Also, feel free to check out my Rocket World server. The link is in the description to apply. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next one.